Video intro. Takes a little bit. Takes a little minute. Come on!
This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Ooh, boys, it's a big one, boys. It's a motherfucking big one. UFC 268 press conference was today. UFC 67 was great. That was a little bit of your international flavor. This seems like a little bit of more of an American card. I mean, I know I have some international people here, but I'm pumped up for numerous reasons. My guy, Kamaru Usman's in the main event. My personal friend, my real life guy is fighting, making his UFC debut. And I just look at this card and see dollar signs. I see motherfucking dollar signs. Let's kick it to the champ with that glorious mustache. By the way, I don't even... calling this a mustache would be... disrespectful. Calling it a handlebar would be disrespectful. He makes Hulk Hogan look like a fucking jabroni. Christian Costello, back-to-back champs. How you feeling about this card here? CC, what's up, man?
Man, I love this card. I enjoyed the one last week, but this is one the international ones are nice, but this thing is just, it's fun almost through the whole thing. I'm excited for it. I think almost everybody is. This is better than last week.
100% better than last week. And last week delivered. I really like last week's card. It was the middle of the day. This is stripping back tonight, which is cool. Timbo, how you feeling about this card? I know you have some write-ups. You do a little side hustle with this. You excited?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. It's like Christian said, like top to bottom. This one's just, it's a banger throughout. Hey, we're not dealing with crazy Russian dudes that we've barely even ever heard of.
Right. We've got a V.
Yeah, we've got a low card with fucking Raging Al and Quintus. So
Raging Al.
That's fun stuff.
That's a fun fight right there. All right, let's hop into it, boys. Enough of the chit chat. Let's motherfucking go. First fight of the night. CJ, is that his name? CJ Vergara? Yeah, CJ Vergara versus Od Osborne. Vergara is a plus 141 underdog. Od Osborne's a minus 172. Vergara coming out of the Contender Series. Osborne coming off a knockout loss to Manel Cop. Even though I'm really high on Cop, I was high on Osborne before. We'll kick it with my man CC. CC, who do you CC winning this fight? See what I did there? That's wordplay, people. That's fucking high-class wordplay.
This is a fun one to start off the card. I feel like it's been a while. Earlier in the year, it was like, I'm like, just bet. Whoever you pick in this, like, bet him to finish because that's how the first fight finished almost always. And I think even though it's 125, we're going to see a finish here. These guys are both wild. Osborne's a Contender Series guy too, so I can't just blindly fade him for that because I'm back to the Contender Series fade. So I'm actually going to go with Vergara here. I think Osborne is a little bit fragile. He beat, what's his name, Jerome Rivera. That just like 0-5 in the UFC. But he's lost to only Cop and Kelleher. Those are whoever he lost to early on. But Cop and Kelleher, and he looked okay against Cop. I think they're pretty equally matched. So just with that, I'm going to go with the dog.
Good dog. Add a little something to the production here. We're an audio podcast, but I do want people to go visual. So some people are having hard to see who we pick. We're just throwing that right there. Little CC head right down Vergara for the pick. I'm gonna go here. It's first fight of the night. One of the fights that I think are very competitive. Both guys are finishers. Od Osborne looked really smooth, but he is shown to be hittable. Vergara didn't super impress me on the Contender Series. A lot of his finishes are from guys who aren't. He took out the trash essentially, right? He finished guys he should have finished, which is good. He is powerful. He is wild. He seems confident too. I followed it. Took a little sneak at his IG. Seems like a confident young man. Took a fight relatively close after his Contender Series against Od Osborne. Osborne coming off a knockout loss. Vergara's fought some good guys in the LFA, has lost to him, but he has fought some good guys. And then Fury FC is the nice little organization as well, not as high as the LFA, but he's got some decent wins. Some of his wins are the records aren't impressive, but again, he took out the trash. But first fight of the night, I'm good to go. I'm good to go Vergara as well. I'm gonna go underdog. Start the night off right. Plus 140. I think this line should be maybe a little bit closer. But I'll take plus 140 on Vergara. Timbo, what we doing here, man? What's up?
I'm going Oppo, baby. I'm going Oppo field like fucking Freddie Freeman for the world champion Braves, man.
Was it chop down or chop on?
Chop on, baby.
Chop on.
Chop on. Yeah, Od Osborne. I mean, he's obviously the Manel Cop knockout was a little surprising, because we were used to seeing Cop at least thus far in his UFC career. Very tentative, very passive, and he goes out and sleeps him round one. But Cop was a pretty high level talent over in one, right? He came from one championship.
Yeah, Risen or one? I think Risen. I think he came from Risen.
Risen. Yeah, he's a champion. So I'm not gonna doubt too much of Osborne from that. He's got a reach advantage, I think. If he can keep his distance and connect like he did on Jerome Rivera, regardless of how stinky he is, then he might be able to get a finish in this one. So give me Osborne.
Give me Osborne. We're a little split on that. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. And we got another banger here. Melsic Bogdaksarian. My tongue doesn't make these words. Minus 290 versus Bruno Souza, plus 225. Another good fight here in the 145-pound division. Melsic is a fantastic striker. Bruno Silva making his debut, 10-1 record. I'll lead the dance here. Listen, I dove deep in Bruno Silva. I wanted an underdog spot here. I did. I was hoping 10-1 Brazilian. I dove into his fights, and he's a scrappy dude. He's good on the ground. He's a good finisher. Somewhat. I mean, he's not like a super killer in there, but Melsic, as much as I want to dislike him because, I believe he's an Edmund Tavarian guy, but he's a killer on the feet. He's nasty with his kicks, with his punches. Great striking. His cardio has held up so far, but that's obviously a big question if you're coming out of Glendale, California. Those guys have cardio issues. They've always had. So that's the big drawback from Melsic here is this cardio. And Bruno Silva puts a pace, but the Silva. There's too many Brunos. Bruno Souza, he's been dropped in a few fights too. He's been caught and he's rebounded back and he's came back and he's been 5 rounds. He's looked good in some decisions, but I think Melsic, if he catches you, it's fucking night. You know what I mean? I think it's a problem. So I'm gonna go Melsic here. Minus 290 is a little wide for me, and I'm being really careful with my parlays nowadays. And I don't know enough about Melsic to really throw him in a parlay because, you're trying to win parlays. This might be a good standalone. Let's take a shot on this young guy here, but I am impressed with his striking, and I think he can be a real talent as long as he keeps it up, right? I think, that camp scares me. Timbo, who you got here, bub?
I'm going to have to go with Melsic here as well, and I'm not shitting on Bruno Souza because, you do see, you look at his topology, and he's got 10-fight win streak. 5 of those came from the LFA. He was the former featherweight champ.
Right.
So I just think he's got a tough debut against Melsic. This guy's the real deal. He's well rounded, really good on the feet. He's smart. He's willing to do. He's willing to do it all. He can go to the ground. He can strike. So I think Souza's in for a tough night. So give me Melsic.
Give you Melsic. Timbo's got Melsic. Christian, champ status here, babe. What we got?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty high on Melsic. I remember his first fight took him round 1 knockout and was pretty confident what happened. It took him a minute or two into the second to actually get it. I was looking a little bit at Souza and I noticed he has a DQ win over Am Hamill. I don't know if that was 12-6 elbows that he got it from. But I am definitely going to go Melsic here. It's kind of because you got a finisher versus a...
I got the joke. I got the John Jones joke there. It took a second, but I got you.
Glad. I was like, all right.
Sorry, I'm distracted. Good joke, Christian. I missed that one. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a finisher versus a non-finisher. The under 2.5 is at plus money, so I probably will just... I'm on Melsic, so I may just stab on that. But yeah, I'm on him. Pretty confident. I always say I respect LFA, so that's about the only word.
Yeah, LFA's a good organization. That's a clean sweep, boys. Last week, though, for the first time, I mean, I don't have the records to back this up. First time in a long time, there was 2 fighters where we all were on the side, and they both lost. It was Jan and then someone else earlier on the card.
Crazy name, Michelle. That's the guy who won.
Sechuk.
Yeah, Sechuk. That's right. Yeah, one of like the only dogs that won. I know someone else closed. Well, I mean, excuse me, Glover won. Sechuk was a dog on my paper. Then I think he closed as an even. So Glover Teixeira was like really the only true dog to win. And he was like plus 200 something. And then right before the main event, he went down to plus 180 because a lot of people were trying to hedge out. Timbo, this is your fight here. You were talking about Jacoby earlier. Dustin Jacoby minus 290 versus John Allen plus 225. Justin Jacoby. I always want to say Justin Jacoby. I think he should change his name. Justin Jacoby's way better than Dustin Jacoby. Taking this fight on short notice like he did his last fight. He's looked pretty good. John Allen hasn't had the best success in UFC. Timbo, you were texting about this fight. Who do you like here? And tell us why it's John Allen.
It is not John Allen, as I'm sure you're aware of. Dustin Jacoby, man, just really flown under the radar. I feel like, really, this dude's got a shit ton of experience. I think the line is a lot bigger than this now. If I'm not mistaken,
probably grew. Yeah, I meant to clarify. The line has grown. And another thing too, if you're commenting on Twitter, it doesn't work for some reason. They switched Twitter live. It used to be Periscope integrated with Twitter. Now it's Twitter live. And I can't, I was what I was doing when Kristen told his awesome joke. I was trying to comment and nothing popped up. So if you're watching, switch over to YouTube so you can chat with us. But yes,
the
line,
StreamYard's fucked too.
Yeah. So I got the line yesterday. So I'm sure it's gone up. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Timbo.
It's like 400.
400?
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's huge, dude. I was about to say.
Okay.
I was like, damn, if I can get Jacoby for -290 now, that'd be nice.
That's a steal.
But I mean, the line is shifting for a reason. I think this fight must have been last minute. I'm assuming Jacoby was already supposed to be on it, and
it was supposed to be Alexis Kammer from Ohio, Stipe's boy, who looks like Jason Biggs from American Pie. He was supposed to fight. He fell out like a week ago, and Jacoby stepped up.
And not to get too far off topic, but
sure.
What happened? Wasn't Strickland supposed to have a fight on this too?
Yeah, Sean Strickland was supposed to like Luke Rockhold, and Rockhold fell off.
Oh, that's right.
Strickland's cornering. He's cornering my boy Chris, so he's in New York looking to fight Dylan Dennis. Strickland, listen. He's one of those few guys I don't really want to talk shit about because he'll literally show up at your door and kill you. Like he's a fucking nut, man. He's crazy.
Yeah, back to it though. Dustin Jacoby just turning into. I mean, I think he always has been, but just an elite striker. This dude finished the fucking Dennis Darren Stewart, which on the feet, doesn't happen, and that's a tough son of a bitch. And he was able to kind of run through him pretty fucking easily. Went to a decision draw with fucking Kutalaba, who's fucking violent in his own right. I'm high on Dustin Jacoby here, so I'll take him.
Boom. CC champ, what do you got here, babe?
Yeah, Jacoby's looked great since he came back. He went over to Glory for a couple of years, didn't he?
He was a kickboxer for a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. The Christian fight was not very good. That was the worst card of, I think, the entire year last year. This year, it's the worst one. I hated that.
Oh, yeah, Rosenstruck gone.
Yeah, that's literally like, I think
the bad man event. That was a bad man event.
It's a bad card. I don't even know if there's a finish on it. Jacoby is, he's good. He's looked great since he's been back. I always think John Alon and Alan Patrick. I always mix those two up. Alon's lost to Slow Mike. He's not very good. That's why this line has climbed up. He stinks.
Hey, I'll give you one. I'll give you one.
Brother, this guy stinks.
I'll give you one. So I'm taking you're leaning Jacoby here.
Yeah. This is the guy that I'm picking Jacoby.
Jacoby.
I don't know how I'm good. I'll probably take like Jacoby inside the distance or something, just a little sprinkle.
Gotcha.
I don't think Alon's not good. So
yeah, John Allen, he had a split with Roman Delite, which was surprising. That was his last fight, and I remember thinking Roman was kind of the shit for a little bit. John Allen though, he's durable, he's tough. Jacoby can hit hard, But he, the Stewart, the knockout over the Stewart, it surprised me a little bit. Darren Stewart shouldn't be fighting at 205. But I don't see Justin Jacoby being this huge puncher. I like this fight to go to decision. And it's crazy that it's this wide. I mean, I'm not going to go against my guy Timbo, who's confident. I trust my guy Timbo's instincts. So I'm going to go Justin Jacoby's now what I'm calling
Dustin.
his name. It's Justin with a J. There you go. I just see this fight kind of being a grimy fight. I think Allen's going to want to clinch him, want to take him down. That's kind of the blueprint of Jacoby's career so far, as you can get him like that. The Maxim Griffin fight kind of showed that, he kind of took his foot off the pedal. A lot of people thought Maxim won that fight. But he has come in on short notice and looked good against Darren Stewart. He's doing it again against John Allen. I think John Allen's hittable. I think Jacoby can go up a round or two. And then his gas tank has faltered in the past. Sometimes he looks good, sometimes he doesn't. Allen can maybe turn it on with some grappling late in the fight. I see this fight going to the decision, but I'm confident Jacoby. Not confident 400 though. I liked him at 294. No. 400 is high, so people are steaming this guy, and for good reason, because I think it's a good matchup for him. All right, next up, probably the stink fest of this card. I think the rest of the fights are great.
It's so bad.
This fight, the stink fest. I believe Volante is now a slight favorite, but John Volante minus 120 versus Chris Baby Bear Fat Boy, whatever the fuck, Huggy Bear nickname, minus 105 Barnett. John Volante came out and said this is his last fight. And I saw a picture of him. I mean, it's not surprising, but I saw a picture of him in his Venom gear for like this car. And he's just kind of like not even flexing. He's just kind of doing this. And he's fat, obviously, and he just doesn't shave anymore. He's just like giving up. He's just like, all right, one more fight in my contract. I'm going to make like 50K and I'm going to go retire. So this is a real stink fest. Christian, kick off this stink fest, bro. What do you got?
Yeah, I love these kind of fights.
This is your wheelhouse here.
This is where I make my money. I think, Barnett's going to be the faster fighter. I mean, he just looks more athletic. I think that fight against Rothwell is all people remember. But John Volante is a middleweight. Like, this is not going to be the same thing where Volante's not going to be able to lay on him like Rothwell was. And Rothwell's not bad. I mean, he's just off the juice now, so he's not a knockout threat, but he's still massive. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've ever got a John Volante fight wrong. Let me just double check. No, because I bet against him since 2019. And
check
he's lost
you out, dude. Check you
out. He's been checked out. People like when they talk about, he's Chris Weidman's training partner. It's like so fucking what? Like,
well, Chris Weidman left for South Carolina, and Volante had a kid and got married, and I think he has a real job too. I'm not sure what he does, but yeah, he's done. Like, he's checked out, dude.
Yeah, that's I think I don't know. I definitely take the over 1.5 on this one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sloppy.
Uh-huh.
I hope Barnett wins. I think he will. I think he's the better fighter. They're both semi-athletic. Lante's he would have lost to Ben Rothwell the same way. Give me Barnett. He's plus money now too.
Who Barnett is? Yeah, people were. Yep. I saw like a best fight odds, like the tracking of Volante. I think at one point he hit minus 130. I was like, what are people doing? So you're on Barnett. Listen, I'm not going to take too much time on this because there's so many more fights I want to talk about. I'll probably go an hour and a half on Chris Curtis alone. So keep it short and sweet. I'm on Barnett as well. Listen, I think he has knockout power. I think he has heavyweight power. I don't think Volante does. Volante's always been like kind of a durable guy. 205 at heavyweight is a complete joke. He gasses out. I mean, he got boxed up by Jake Collier, who stinks. He quit in the weirdest choke against Maurice Green because he was tired. Listen, this guy's checked out, and I can't believe he's the favorite here. Barnett looked terrible against Ben Rothwell, but Barnett's like 5'6". And Rothwell's like 10 foot tall. This is going to be a lot more competitive for Barnett, and he's knocked out some good guys outside the UFC. This guy's been around for a while. A lot of the common man casuals is what some people would say. I'm not going to say that, but they don't know who Barnett is. I think this is a steal here if he's plus money. I had him at a pick him when I made this card. So this is an easy pick for me, Barnett. Probably by knockout too. I like the over 1.5 is what Christian said. I like it going a little bit longer, but Volante's going to get tired. He's going to want a cannoli. He's going to want to get out of there. Give me Chris Barnett. Timbo.
I gotta stay true to my guns here. I'm going Volante, man. He's going out with the win. It's his last fight, last fight before retirement.
Yeah,
no pressure, and Barnett is just fucking fat and T-Rex arms, and get like I don't know what fucking fight y'all saw against Ben Rothwell, but Ben Rothwell stinks.
Yeah, he's not good.
It was a putrid looking fight. Like they were both gassed. What's up?
You know what I'm really excited about is after Volante starts your angry text messages about him because you are
I do not have expectations going in this fight. Let's be
all right.
Now if it's a fucking Russian or like one of the Russians that get fucked up, then I'm gonna have some mean things to say.
Okay.
But I've got very low expectations for Volante. I most likely won't even bet this fight.
Yeah,
I probably will.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it's your floor. I'm sorry.
I was going to say. I mean, this is DFS speaking. This is I think this does go to finish. So you do have to get one of these guys in there because Barnett, obviously, he's fucking big as shit and he can hit like a truck. Like if he hits you, you're going to get knocked out. I think Volante has a clear, kind of a game plan to this, just is to keep your distance, not get hit, clinch him up a little bit, just like Ben Rothwell did, and gas him out, and you don't gas out, and then get him in a fucking submission or something. Both of these guys absolutely fucking stink. It's pathetic.
They're both plus 250 to win by knockout. So
yeah,
you get some good leverage there on that.
I'm gonna play by knockout, just hoping and praying that this doesn't go to decision because this is gonna be maybe the worst fight in UFC history if it goes to decision. Dana White likes John Volante, so this is in New York. Dana's like, let's give you one more, and we'll give you a guy who is fatter than you. You're going to have one round because John Volante is going to come out and he's going to look pretty good for maybe a minute in that first round, right? His boxing is going to look okay. But I think Barnett, even though with his size, he's actually pretty athletic. He's good, and he's knocked out big boys at heavyweight too. So
Walt Harris,
yeah. So I'm on Barnett. I can't swear my
opinion. In the Rothwell fight, wasn't he doing like weird fucking like front flips?
He's a wild man. He was trying. People on the forums years ago when he first debuted in MMA were trying. He was a very big personality in Japan. People loved him, right? They tried to get him in the UFC. Or they tried to get him in Strikeforce, whatever. He couldn't make 265. This dude was like 300 pounds doing like backflips and shit. So he's kind of that weird athlete, but he looked so bad in the Rothwell fight. I think that's why this number's the way it is. But God, dude, he's fighting John Volante. I mean, Jesus. I mean, God, it's just such a toilet bowl fight.
It's a stink fest,
It's a stink fest. This fight, not a stink fest. Joel Williams, plus 270. I'm sure that line's gone up. Ian Gary, minus 355. And that is my guy. Not really my guy, but this is a guy I've had an eye on. So I believe I'm first here, right? If I'm not mistaken. I texted you guys earlier this week. Ian Gary was 320. So I've had my eye on this guy, Cage Warriors, Dublin guy for a while. And, good looking kid, good striker, undefeated in Cage Warriors, was a former champion. And then his team left him right before he fought for the title. And it became kind of news. I never really dug into it. And he got signed to the UFC. So now I dug into it, right? And I'm extremely confident Ian Gary. He's my pick. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. He's that's not working. There it is. But he's got a little bit of ego issues, right? So he's from Dublin, doesn't train at SPG, trains at some gym called RK, some small little school where Chris Fields, former UFC fighter, Ultimate Fighter contestant, coached. Before his world title fight with Cage Warriors, they were like, you're no longer welcome here. Now, what we've known from MMA as coaches and everything, they get a nice little cut. This guy was the next big thing. He's great. Why are they going to fucking drop this guy? And he's acting like, the UFC did a little promo on him earlier this week, and he's acting like he didn't know. Well, it's because he was an entitled prick. His coaches came out and said this guy was treating us badly, treating our coaches badly. His chick, who's pretty hot, is his manager. And when she became his manager, that's when everything turned to shit. He's a very ego. I saw an interview today just in writing. A lot of his answers were very ego-driven. He's a very confident, egotistical young man. And that could be a real downfall. Really, it could. In this sport of MMA, which is, to me, any athlete has to have an ego, but especially MMA, you're in there in your underwear fighting another man. You have to have some kind of confidence about you. So I like that about him. But when you become too much like that, it's a problem. So now he's at Sanford MMA, hopefully going down there with those Sharks. He's getting humbled a little bit. Long story short, Ian Gary is an absolute stud. His cardio is great. His willingness to get hit, I don't like, because Jordan Williams, to me, this seems like a walkover. Jordan Williams got hurt by fucking Mickey Gall. Him cutting to 170, being a diabetic, I think is a big mistake. But this guy's knocked out guys at 185. He has power in his hands. And Ian Gary does like to get hit a little bit, likes to mix it up. That's not going to stop me. I'm hearing Ian Gary. I think he was minus 375 last time I looked. I'm fucking pumped up for this fight. Pumped up for this debut. Again, I get googly eyes to the new guys. And boys, they're out today. They're fucking boo, 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 boo. They are out. Hubba, hubba. Timbo, what do you got?
He's minus 400 on DraftKings.
Damn, I looked today on FanDuel. He's minus 375, but he's climbing. You're right.
Yeah, Jordan Williams stinks. I think this is a pretty good matchup for him. I don't know too much about Gary other than what the hype has been this week, and it seems to be, he's going to live up to it. I immediately think of Paddy Pimblett. These guys coming over from Cage Warriors, coming over from this guy's from Ireland too, right?
Yeah, from Dublin.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, they're following the footsteps of the GOAT, Conor McGregor. So
yeah,
the UFC's setting him up. They know what they have with him, and they know what they have with Jordan Williams as well. And he's not something they give a shit about, and he can get KO'd, and they'll move on from it. So give me Gary.
There you go. That's my guy Timbo right there. Christian, you gonna go shit in my pie right here and tell me Gary stinks and you like Jordan Williams and
shiitake pie?
Partially, I've been less than impressed with these Cage Warriors guys and anybody from SBG. Everybody from SBG.
Well, he's not.
Now.
He's not from SBG.
Well, you said it, so
no. I'm saying. He was from such a small gym. There's only 2 gyms in Ireland, SBG and then whatever fuck he came from. So he probably walked around, was knocking heads around. The coach was like, buddy, you got to get out of here. You know what I mean? You outgrow your gym. So that's how he get to Florida. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, just that area of Europe as a whole, not been really impressed with the products. I mean, when Mason Jones scraped by in that last fight, and he was, maybe the most hyped. Obviously, Paddy Pimblett won. They set these guys up to win, and that's what they're doing here. Jordan Williams did knock out RoboCop on the Contender Series, and I'm pretty high on RoboCop. I think the line is way off, so I'm going to pick Ian Gary. I know what they're doing here. But this is one betting wise. I'm definitely going to target the under because I think Jordan Williams does have power, especially at 170. He looked like shit against Mickey Gall, and I don't have diabetes, so I don't really know what that takes out of you. Like if one weight cut could be better or not. This line is way too wide for Jordan Williams has at least fought somebody. I don't know a single person who Ian Gary's fought. So
I forgot about the RoboCop knockout. That's
he knocked him out in the Contender Series at 85. Yeah, that's what I mean. He has power, but he's been knocked out by Dwight Grant in the regional scene. He's had a shot on the Contender Series, blew it, got a shot back. He's got an interesting story with the diabetic stuff. Cutting to 170 to me, that's just not I'm not against weight cutting. I'm never gonna be like, sure. I just feel like Frank Edgar fought better at 155 pounds. He just did. He was the smaller, faster guy that had wrestling. He had the better technique. 145, he never made the title. He had a couple title shots. At 35, he's older now, but I think guys should fight more naturally at their weight. Jordan Williams should not cut to 170. And listen, if you get rocked and almost knocked out by Mickey Gall, what are we doing here? Jordan Williams has shown to have a great chin. He fought Nassim Imanoff in his UFC debut after the Contender Series and took some shots and lost a close fight. Imanoff gassed at the end of that. They both kind of did. But yeah, he looked good in the Contender Series. But Ian Gary's sharp. His boxing is crisp. His punches are straight. He's a sharp kid. My only concern, though, is with the ego and the fact that his last fight in Cage Warriors was for the title and he fought with a bad PCL. He took some shots. He got cut up a little bit. And, I just don't think you can take shots from Williams, who's knocked out guys at 185 pounds. That's my only concern. But other than that, I'm very confident Ian Gary. Very excited to see him in the UFC. And we all nailed it. I mean, we all said it. The UFC is setting him up for this because, you know, he idolizes Conor. He started fighting 3.5 years ago because of Conor, right? Like, this guy's not like Patty. When Patty was already fighting when Conor came up, and Patty doesn't show Conor as much respect because they might fight one day. Who knows? But this guy's like, yeah, no, Conor McGregor's the reason I did this. All right, next up, Edmund Shabazzian, plus 116 versus Nasruddin Imanoff. He is a minus 144. I know this line is jumping a little bit. Timbo, what do you like in this fight, bud? Edmund, the Shabazzian, or the Frenchman? The Dagestanian / Frenchman.
The Dagestanian versus a guy who's been completely exposed for not being able to stop a takedown.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a pretty clear picture here. And granted, not to shit. What's up?
Imanoff's more of a striker.
I was just about to get into that.
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So so I was doing the write up on this, so it does look like a clear picture. And I was like, okay, well, his name is Imavov, and he's from Dagestan. Let me check on this guy. Because Phil Hawes fucking kind of threw this dude around the ring, if I'm not mistaken.
That almost got
he couldn't stop.
Fuck out in the third.
Yeah, and the second. Phil got caught in the second and the third. And the third was bad. He was on ice skates, dude. Fucking.
Yeah, I mean, so the guy is, you know, good on the feet. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like, are you really from Dagestan? Like, what's going on here? Why aren't you wrestling in any of your fights? He has like 0 to like he doesn't have barely any takedowns in his fights, which I thought was really weird. I'm assuming that he does have that skill though, and I'm assuming that the game plan still here will be to take Shabazzian down, which anybody could do clearly. And you know, not to disrespect him too much, because obviously Derek Brunson is damn near fighting for a title. He's, you know, very good at taking his opponents down. Who was his other opponent that he lost to? Jack Hermanson, another elite wrestler. So I'm not gonna shit on another one. Not to shit on him too much, but I mean, in Shabazzian, it's crazy to see that he's only 23 years old and has the record that he does. Started off 4-0 in the UFC. You know, he's lost the last 2, but obviously big step up in competition. He's taking a step down in competition now, but I still think that, you know, the blueprint's there to beat this guy. And until he gets his takedown defense better, I think, you know, he's going to continue to have problems. People aren't going to give him that bit of space so he can unleash these fucking Liu Kang kicks on you. It's not going to work like that. So give me Imavov.
Give me Imanoff. Nice breakdown there by Timbo. CC, how do you see this fight, brother?
Man, Imavov is not Derek Brunson or Jack Hermanson. Let's be clear about that. The blueprint's out for a guy that's fighting for the belt next, and a guy who is, you know, one of the best grapplers in the division. Like, you know, definitely well respected in that department. Just because he has an OV at the end of his name, you know, that's like Muslim Salikov does too. And I don't think that guy ever wanted to go to the ground.
Good.
So, you know, Shabazzian does have hella power in his hands. I kind of hate that I'm on 2 of what's that guy's name? What's the coach's name? Sir Edmund, right?
Oh, Tavarian. Yeah, you're on 2. So you're on Shabazzian?
I am on Shabazzian.
Wow.
You have to assume, you know, this isn't like Kevin Holland 3 weeks later trying to learn takedown defense. He has gotten starched in the exact same way, back-to-back fights. And, you know, when was his last fight? Like 8 months ago, something like that. 5. Okay, so 6 months ago.
But when you're young, you pick it up.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even factor the age in, but, you know, he's knocked a lot of people out. His striking is elite. He doesn't really need to practice that. I have to assume that in these 6 months, he's really hammered it in. I'm not impressed with Imavov. Give me Shabazzian.
Give me Shabazzian.
On track on this one.
So Edmund Shabazzian, the one thing I liked is he went to Vegas, and I couldn't get a full report if he completely left Glendale and left Edmund, but he's definitely in Vegas. He showed up in some of Chris Curtis's and Sean Strickland's Instagram stories. So he's in Vegas training, right? At least cross training. So that's good. He's getting new looks because he's, again, a big dog in a small gym in Glendale. There's not many people there that are his size. He's dangerous in the first round. He's got hands. He's got power. Like, he's a good striker, has a good chin. He's young. Cardio's been the biggest issue. Imanoff is coming out of Fight Factory France. Siragan, Fernand Lopez is heading that up. A lot of Dagestanians are coming over there to learn striking. In France, a couple years ago, MMA was illegal. Now it's a really good fucking gym out there. And Imanoff looked really good against Ian Heinisch. No one finishes Ian Heinisch. They go to a decision, and he finished him. He stopped takedowns, and he fucking finished Ian Heinisch. His striking is different. It's awkward. I love this fight. This is a really tough fight for me to call. I went back and forth on this fight. I like Shabazz at the number, and I like Shabazz possibly first round because I just don't know. He's a young man. I think he's working on his wrestling. I think he's working on his skills. I just don't know if the work ethic's going to be there for the cardio, right? You know, he went 3 rounds with Jack Hermanson, gassed out, but he finished it. And with Brunson, he never gave up. He just was getting the shit kicked out of him and was just tired. Imanoff is a sharp striker, and his wrestling has improved. So I think he could take Shabazz down. I think they're going to want to play on the feet a little bit. It's a tough call, but I'm going to go Imanoff here.
Expecting someone else?
Who the fuck is
Oh, no, it's the holidays.
I thought that was you. That showed up exactly when you put the face up there. I was like, that was sweet.
So I got my little setup here, my stream deck. It comes with sounds. And I look over like, did I set up a sound with that? And Christian's on Pornhub over there fucking getting the fucking pop-ups. Threw me off, man. Imanoff's my pick though, but I think this is about as close as it gets here. And I'm excited for that fight. That's gonna be a banger. All right. Composure, Brian. Composure. This is a big one for me. This is a personal one for me. Phil Hawes minus 350 versus Chris the Action Man Curtis plus 265. Obviously, there's no secret of who I'm going to pick. Christian, you go first. And
you want me to defer to you?
No, you can go first. Full disclosure, you guys can pick whoever you want. Don't save my feelings. I know it's a tough matchup for Chris. Go with Timbo's a savage. Timbo get better.
Is that the current haircut? Is that the current hair color of Phil Hawes?
So Phil Hawes was blonde the first time they were going to fight. I remember seeing him at the press conference before they pulled the original fight. He did dye his hair blonde. So I'm going to assume he's going in blonde, right? I told Chris to dye his hair blonde. I don't think he will. That would be fun. But full disclosure, pick who you want. Don't save my feelings. It's okay. Obviously, I'm biased. I fully admit that. So, Christian, please, champ, break down this fight for me.
All right. You know what? I was thinking this earlier today. What a difference just in life in general a month can make. Because last month, Chris Curtis was going to have me at the Denver Western Stock Show Complex cheering him on at Fury FC.
Fighting Evan Cutts.
Yep. Here we sit 1 month later. He's going to be in a packed house at Madison Square Garden, and Bruce Buffer is going to be announcing him.
Crazy.
Sick.
Just that's what's changed in just 1 month. So I couldn't be happier for the guy. Obviously, I've never met him, but just being friends with you guys, I just, I hope he gets credit for our ticket sales because we bought a table and put his name down as first.
Hopefully he gets, I've done that too. He gets a little cut of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know about anymore since he.
Right, yeah, well, now it's UFC fight. Yeah, they're not giving him anything.
I'll have to try to change it to Myron Dennis, light skin dynamite. So, yeah, this is the only one I didn't have circled, but since I went first, I was hoping, but I mean, I know what you're going to pick. I was curious to hear Tim's breakdown too.
Tim can go next. I'll go last. We'll mix it up for this one.
All right. So, obviously, everything I know about Chris Curtis and, what I've, other people I respect, he's vulnerable to being taken down. Obviously, Phil Hawes has a wrestling background. Phil Hawes is massive, too. He just looks massive. I'm torn because if Phil Hawes gasses out, I think Chris Curtis could finish him late. Mm-hmm. The thing is, I think he's really going to lean on his wrestling. I think he's going to try to go for those takedowns. I mean, if not, he might try to go buck wild in the first round. Right. It's so hard for me to break down because it's like my heart and my head are in two different places. But yeah. I hate this matchup. I wish Chris was fighting somebody else, but I'm going to have to go with Hawes on this one. I'm still going to bet. I'm going to bet Chris. I'm going to bet him. He's like plus 2,500 round 3.
Yeah. The round 3 is nuts. Is a nuts line. Timbo, go ahead and I'll close her home with my thoughts on Chris.
I don't have much different. to say other than Christian. I'll bet Chris Curtis for sure. What I'll ride whatever you guys ride, and I'll definitely be rooting for him. But smart money is, Hall's most. I'd say by decision. I really think he just tries to grapple fuck him and puts him up against the cage, and it's a slow, boring fight.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to get touched. We've seen, obviously, we just said in the the Imanoff fight that he got touched a bunch, and he doesn't want that. And Chris has power. He's shown it in the past, but Hawes has a path to victory here. That's as most wrestlers do. Just don't get caught and don't gas out and just control the fight. So I'll go Hawes there.
Yeah.
Chris Curtis, round 3 knockout on FanDuel, plus 3,100.
I mean, that's a gorgeous line. That's a gorgeous line. Chris is an eccentric guy. He doesn't have to be fighting. His parents are very successful. I think they're both doctors. This guy took a bus to the gym. I don't think he's ever really had a full job. I think maybe he was a bouncer at one point or something, but he's never had a job. He's always wanted to be a fighter, which is commendable. I mean, the guy had no money. He had a child that wasn't his, but he was with a girl that was pregnant that he took care of, and he still is that kid's father today. That tells you what kind of guy he is. He's no longer with the girl, obviously. But he's still the dad of the kid. He's just the epitome of a team guy, a loyal guy. And I love that it took him so long to move because he didn't want to move out of Cincinnati. He wanted to stay with the gym. He had some falling out with the gym here. And finally made the move out of California initially, then Vegas, which was the better move. And I couldn't be happier for him. This is what he's always wanted. Now, he's getting Phil Hawes, which is a tough matchup. I don't like Chris at 185 pounds. He's not the biggest guy in the world. I've grappled him. I'm a fucking freak of nature, strong man. But I just have a feeling that Phil's going to lean up against him. But Chris is very good in the clinch. Phil could double leg and take Chris down. Chris doesn't have the best jiu-jitsu. His get-up game's pretty good. But the more Phil shoots and the more he takes Chris down, the more tired he's going to get. But in the clinch is what he fought Imanoff a lot. He clinched with Imanoff a lot. Chris is dangerous. Chris is dirty boxing in the clinch. He works that body really well. A lot of his KOs are from the body. And he's dirty in there. He's tough. He's grimy. And he's durable as hell. I know he got knocked out by Ray Cooper, but that was the only time he's ever been knocked out. He's been submitted one other time by Tom Galicchio a million years ago. Other than that, he's never been finished. Like, this guy's durable as they can come. And I am so excited for that third round prospect, right? I think Phil Hawes is going to dominate probably round 1. He's going to come out. He's going to throw heavy hands. He does have some power. He is explosive. I think Chris is going to read him from a mile away. And then the drop of first round, second round, I think he's going to come back. In the third round, I think he'll take over. Smart money, and this is me taking my friend hat off. Smart money would be Phil Hawes by decision because I don't think Phil's getting Chris out of there. But if you really want to risk it and you're picking Chris money line, I think the better play is Chris third round, maybe even second round TKO because he does have power. He works the body well. And Phil is gassed out in every single one of his fights. Chris doesn't gas out. So obviously I'm taking my guy Chris, right? I can't pick against him. I'll never do that. But since I'm a capper and we're giving you picks, Hawes by decision because there's no way he finishes Chris. And then Chris by second or third round TKO because I don't think Chris is going to win a decision. Chris can win one round, but that's not going to be enough, right? So that's my play there. I appreciate you boys keeping
Let's go, Chris.
Keeping it G, keeping it 100. Didn't pick Chris because I'm here. I like that. I knew Timbo wouldn't. Timbo bet it against his Braves. That dude's a fucking savage.
That was game 2 in Houston. There was no way in God's green earth that Houston was losing that game.
Hey, man, that's sad. Like, if I took a fight right now with somebody and the other guy looked back, you'd be like, I don't know, man. I think I might take you. You better get
I'm rooting for you, brother. I'm rooting for you.
Money talks. Next up, Al plus 136 versus Bobby Green, minus 168. I actually initially hated this fight when it happened, but the more I think about it, the more I've grown on it. It's in New York, which is good for Al. And Bobby Green's just a legend, right? So I'm going to kick it off here. This fight was tough to pick because Bobby Green is the king of decisions and decision losses because he does a lot of fucking showboat and he shakes his head a lot, and I heard a podcast today say when he gets hit, he shakes his head like not that it hurt, but you're letting the judges know that you got hit. If you do nothing, they might not see it, right? I like Quince as a guy who I just never really got behind. I've always thought he's very mid. That's what the kids say, mid. He was on the Ultimate Fighter and made it to the finals because someone got hurt, but he got choked out by Chiesa, but he was like the favorite to win it. I know he's a Ray Longo, Macera guy, but I just think he's looked average. He had completely got dominated by Dan Hooker. Last time I believe I saw him fight, he looked great against Kevin Lee, which we just found out Kevin Lee's a fucking alcoholic, so that might have something to do with it. But I feel like Al's only doing this because it's in New York, right? I don't think he has any interest in fighting. I think a lot of it has to do with Bobby Green. Bobby Green's a good name. They're both veterans. It's going to be a fun fight. Bobby's not going to wrestle him. Bobby's not going to try to take him down. They're going to stand up. Bobby doesn't have the biggest power in the world. Good boxing. He can clip you, but he's not like a knockout puncher. So I went back and forth in this fight, and I'm going to pick Al Quinta. And this is going to be the first of my square pick parlay. So I have a square pick parlay. And what it is I'm picking like a square. So it's going to be this fight and the next fight. This fight is going to be fight goes to the decision. I have it written down. I think it's minus 300. And that I don't see anybody finishing anybody. They're both durable as all get out. I don't think either of them are prolific finishers. So Al Quinta by decision plus 300. That's going to be first leg of my square parlay. Or not plus 300, minus 300, excuse me. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's a very chalky line, but there's no way it gets finished, right? I actually like Al money line because he is underdog as well, but in the square pick parlay, we're giving Al and Bobby Green fight goes to decision. Timbo, you feel like you're a Bobby Green guy. What do you think about Al? Al, raise now.
Both of them, man. I really like both of these guys, and they are the epitome of mid-carders. Yeah. And they're also the epitome of they're more entertaining outside the ring than they are inside the ring. Mm-hmm. Not so much with Bobby Green, but Al Quinta definitely. He's got a personality on him. Yeah, he's from the fucking the Matt Serra Jersey shit that they got going on there.
Yeah, Long Island. He's the realtor stuff. Yeah.
What are y'all doing? Y'all booing me?
You're booing me?
Booing me? Fuck you.
Yeah. He lost that fight though against George. That was against Masvidal. He lost.
Yeah.
You booing me?
Yeah. I feel like Al Quinta, he's got Kevin Lee. He has his number. Mm-hmm. But I feel like he got that Khabib payday and kind of just said, fuck it.
100%. Yeah.
That's what it seems like. Like he never really seemed like the hungriest guy just because he's kind of so laid back. But King Green, man, gets in there and he goes for it. Even the fucking Russian or German or whatever the fuck tough guy he fought last fight. He was third round fucking going after it. I think he still got that fire, and I think he'll be the more aggressive. I know Al is like a All-American wrestler or something? I know he's got some wrestling.
I don't think he's All-American, but he does. Yeah, he has college wrestling. He does come from a wrestling background, but I feel like he hasn't used it. Like he couldn't take Dan Hooker down.
Yeah, if you can't take Dan Hooker down, and if you're not trying to take Dan Hooker down, then what are you doing? So I think Green is going to be the more. I do agree with you. It's going to go to decision, but I think Green will be the more active, the more aggressive fighter in there. So give me King Green.
King Green. Christian, what do you got? Hulk Hogan. What do you got, brother?
Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah, brother.
This is one I had trouble picking, too. I bounced back and forth 10 different times on this one, so I can't really add a whole lot other than what you guys did. It's a close fight. It's going to go to decision. I mean, that's Bobby Green. That's just almost a guarantee. Mm-hmm. I kind of dove into the stats just a little bit. I mean, these are guys you don't have to. I mean, we know what they do. We've seen them all so many times. But I just looked at just straight from UFC stats. Bobby Green lands 5.45 strikes a minute. Al Quinta's 4. And then Bobby Green only absorbs 3.55, but Al absorbs 4.44. So Al gets hit more than he's hitting somebody, and Bobby Green's, getting hit a lot less. So in a fight that I don't see going to the ground at all, it's just a straight kickboxing match. Obviously, the optics with Bobby Green can be bad, but that difference in output over 3 rounds, Bobby Green's not as easy to hit with his shoulder roll, and as long as he doesn't, do what that bullshit when he does actually get hit. Yeah, I like Bobby Green here.
Bobby Green.
But I don't hate you for taking the dog shot because when it goes to decision, I don't know how the New York judges are, but all MMA judges are bad.
Well, I forgot to mention that in my breakdown. Bobby King Green is notorious for losing close decisions, and he has bad optics. And every time Al lands anything, the crowd's going to go nuts, right? Because he is pretty big on social media. He's going to have a big following. He's a New York guy. And the judges are fucking stupid, right? So even if Bobby doesn't take a shot and he's rolling with everything, but Al threw 5 punches and the crowd goes nuts, one judge might be like, oh shit, okay. The one thing I keep seeing this fight happening, because Al does have the wrestling, I don't think he'll lean on it, but I do think Bobby is so slick with his boxing that he's going to land some shit, right? And Al doesn't have that much head movement, that Al's going to want to clinch. Al's going to want to slow it down and get into his world, and that could favor the judges as well. Again, I like a shot at Al, but more so that fight goes to decision. I'm not going to pick a winner in this. I do like maybe Al money line. We'll see how I do Saturday night. But yeah, this is an entertaining fight. A fight I hated at first, and then I grew to love it. So let's move on to Andreas Micheladas plus 198 versus Alex Pereira minus 250. This fight's got a lot of hype about it because of the man on the right, Alex Pereira. Against is this guy, he's Greek, right? Yeah, Greek. Andre Micheladas. That's got to be Greek. This is good matchmaking by the UFC because they want Pereira to be a star. One of the few kickboxing guys, because Gohan Saki came over, but he was kind of at the end of his career. Alex Pereira's 34 double champ in glory and just lost a close decision and finished out his contract. He's getting boatloads of money out there. So coming over to MMA, he's 3-1. And moving from Brazil to Connecticut to train with Glover Teixeira is probably one of the smartest things he ever did. Used to train with Charles Oliveira's team. Big fight. Who goes first here? Is it Timbo? Yeah, Timbo, go first, bud. Unless you want me to go first. It can be. Yeah, go Timbo.
I will say. I went first.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's Timbo.
Okay.
Yeah, so this Micheladas guy, I mean, I don't know much about him. I know that he couldn't finish KB Bueller.
He's that dude that fell out of the cage against Modestus.
Modestus like knocked him out, and then like he went back and fell out of the cage, and they called it. It was like it was a weird thing, yeah.
Oh, against Modestus Bukakas.
Yeah, it was very odd. It was very weird.
I have to see that. Yeah, so clearly this guy is essentially just a kickboxer as well, judging by his typology here.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then I can damn near guarantee that Pereira is the better kickboxer, just of all of his accomplishments and glory. Did I already mention that he fucking knocked your boy out cold?
Hey, I wasn't gonna bring it up. I was gonna avoid that, but yes, he has 2 wins over Odasanya, 1 by knockout, 1 by decision.
I mean, I'm talking hands up, feet.
No, we've seen
fucking
it.
Stiff.
We've seen it.
And that's what big boy gloves on too.
Hey man, no need to recap. We've seen it. We've all seen it.
All right, just checking. Yeah, so give me Pereira. And I think people can say it all they want, and it is crazy when the highly touted guy comes in from another organization and then loses, and then the UFC is like, well, that I can only assume they're saying, well, that wasn't the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see that happening here. Obviously with Micheladas, I think he's just a kickboxer and that's fighting in MMA, and he won't stand a chance in the ring with this guy. So give me Pereira by knockout.
By knockout. There you go. Christian, who you got in this fight, bud?
Man, this is the same exact thing, a setup fight against a no-name guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about Micheladas other than maybe Greek people and his mom, but yeah, this is we're gonna be hearing about the Izzy knockout, I'm sure 100 different times tomorrow or Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a setup. This is one I'm gonna you can do like those first 60 seconds bets, like to finish.
Right,
I think
right,
this
yeah.
is gonna I think this one is live for that. Yeah, it's a setup. Micheladas has tried 2-3 takedowns against KB Bular and Modestus. That one against Modestus is the one where he got the Travis Brown elbows and then fell out of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And KB Bular just lost on some Arab regional scene, I think, last week.
I think DQ or something like that, wasn't it? Did he do something illegal? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I just heard today that he lost.
I saw it on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know, but that guy looked terrible. Yeah, give me Pereira. I've never even seen him fight. I know what's up here.
Right. Yeah. So you would think, since I'm such an Izzy guy, like he's 1-2 top guys, top talent list of mine, I would dislike Pereira. But you listen, Pereira's got a personality. He's got a good look. He's kind of a longer guy. Kind of built like, I mean, this might be an exaggeration, but he is kind of built like Deontay Wilder, a very smaller version. Lean and big and with crazy power. His left hook is crazy. I mean, I encourage everyone to go look up Alex Pereira knockouts, and most of them are these crazy left hooks. His fight in the LFA, I mean, he fought a bum. He fought a guy 4-4, but that left hook knockout was scary. I mean, the guy face planted. It is devastating. That's what he got Izzy with as well. This guy's striking is another level. My biggest concern with kickboxers coming over to MMA, it's tempo. It's rhythm. You know, kickboxers are always kind of in the same rhythm, right? MMA, you got so many things to worry about that a lot of times they kind of fail. But Pereira's been kind of making this transition slowly. He was with Charles the Bronx Oliveira in Brazil. At that Brazil, I don't know where, it's somewhere in Brazil. I forget the name of his team. But then for the past, like, I think 6 months or whatever, he went to Glover Teixeira's in Danbury, Connecticut. Glover Teixeira is a pretty goddamn good guy to train with if you want to learn how to get up off your back, because that dude is fucking heavy on top. And he's got cardio for days. So I got to imagine Pereira's just been working those spots. Micheladas is not a takedown artist. I don't see him taking Pereira down. The only success I see is if he comes in and throws wild and catches Pereira. Pereira gets a little too arrogant because, you know, he's this high level kickboxer and this fucking Greek bum can't fuck with me or whatever, and gets a little arrogant. But Pereira is nasty. He's nasty in the clinch. He's got good kicks, but that left hook is, with 4-ounce gloves on, that left hook is going to hurt somebody. It's one of the better left hooks I've ever seen. He generates so much power from it. I know a lot of people think this line's a little steamed because Pereira's a kickboxer and whatever. I get that, but I'm encouraged for this. I think this is good story making for the UFC. Get Pereira in here, build up contenders at 185, because let's say Izzy beats Whitaker. Who does he fight next? Maybe Cannonier, but he's already beat Costa. He's already beat Vittori. No one wants to see a third match with Vittori. You need guys, and I know
Brunson's already beat.
Right, in a 3-1 Alex Pereira, who doesn't have much MMA experience, they can build that because they're feeding the right guys and it's all built in. But Pereira, I think, as long as his takedown offense is as good as I hope it is, because Micheladas is eventually going to have to shoot. There's no way he's going to take a couple shots and want to go down. But I'm all over Pereira here. I'm excited for this. I've seen a lot of people kind of get scared of it. I'm not scared of it. I'm going right for it. And this is the second leg and final leg of my square pick parlay. So I had Ally Quinta and Bobby Green by decision. I have Alex Pereira by KO. That's 2 units at plus 149. I'm not a prop guy. I can't win props. But if I can't win these fucking props, then the world is against me, because these are fucking layups. So I really like this fight. I'm glad the UFC brought him over. I'm excited about that. All right, boys. Main card. Now listen, I didn't put Gaethje and Chandler as the main card kickoff because I want to finish the card with the 3 blockbusters. So this is the original lineup. So switch gears. It's not Gaethje and Chandler. It's going to be Frankie the Answer Edgar plus 140 versus Marlon Vera minus 172. This line is moving a little bit. Frankie looks to be in incredible shape. He's a dog here. Marlon Vera, you know, just kind of a fucking staple of this division at one point. It's like 1 minute, you know, people were talking about him after he knocked out Sean O'Malley. Next minute he's losing. This guy needs to really step it up. He's got a good personality. He's got a good fighting style. He needs to really make a splash. I think this could be the fight for him. Christian, who do you like here? But I feel like, Christian, this has been an unusual card for you because you haven't picked many dogs. That's unusual. Are we getting a dog play here?
You sure are.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Hey.
There he is.
Yeah, I think in this fight, the only thing that's really a concern is Frankie Edgar's age. I mean, you know, there's obviously that last knockout was disgusting. Just
Sure.
like, ugh. But, you know, Chito Vera's not going to do that to him. Chito Vera's obviously, I don't have to say this. Anybody that's listening to this already knows how slow of a starter he is. I think it's kind of in the dynamic of Frankie Edgar's it's a 3-round fight. He's gonna win them just like what's his name, Makwan did last week. I'm like, okay, Frankie Edgar's gonna win this first round. I don't really know if Chito Vera is gonna be able to get back up when he's on his back.
Right.
I don't think he has. You know, he has finished a lot of people. I'm not sure he has the power or the submission ability to finish Frankie Edgar. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised this line's going. I would have thought it was going my way, but it's going the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, I just don't see how Cheeto Vera's gonna win this fight. When I imagine it in my head, I just don't see it. He's gonna lose the first round. I mean, he'll probably win the third, but I'm curious to hear your breakdown because I'm all over Edgar, especially if the line keeps moving that way.
Sure. So my breakdown is this. So I heard a lot of facts today. Cheeto Vera has lost so many first rounds. They listed him off who he's lost to. He always comes back strong. Frankie Edgar was a drug for me for a while because he's fell as an underdog quite a bit. And I think the only time I ever really and I think I didn't even bet him straight up. I think I put him on parlay was the Pedro Munoz fight. I picked him then. And he won a close decision. But listen, he got knocked out by Corey Sandhagen, who's one of the best strikers. Just fought an amazing fight with Petrion. Crazy jumping knee. Frankie's 40. He's cutting weight, which I don't like. But this number keeps staring at me. But I promised myself I'd never go back to Edgar. So this fight's been really, really tough on me. I don't like Cheeto being the favorite here. I just keep seeing Frankie starting off good and then running into a few elbows or punches from Cheeto. He's not the biggest puncher in the world. He's more an accumulative guy. His last fight with David Grant, the longer the fight went, though, the more violent Cheeto got. Off his back with these elbows. I think the right pick and the value pick is Frankie Edgar, but I swore to myself, you're not going back, Brian, okay? Never had an addiction in my life. I couldn't stop betting Frankie Edgar as an underdog. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to Cheeto Vera. I'm wiping my hands clean of it. I'm staying strong. Give me Cheeto Vera, even though I don't like the line. And really, I don't have a really good pulse on how this fight's going to end either. I see Frankie winning the decision. I see Cheeto stopping him late. I see Frankie running into something. He is 40, making weight at 35. A little bit of a chin issue at this point. But he does look to be in fucking phenomenal shape. Timbo, who you got here, babe?
I'm all over Frankie by decision here, man. I think that's such a. Do you know that line?
What is it?
CZ? I'm asking. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to actually say betting wise.
I got to pull it up here. So Frankie by submission. Frankie by decision is looking like it is Frankie by decision plus 250.
That's a gorgeous number.
Yeah, that's a nice number. I just, I see, obviously, another one of your guys, he just got completely fucking mollywopped and starts Sean O'Malley. That's not going to happen to Frankie, dude. Like, when has Frankie ever been, like, taken down and just fucked up? He's been caught on the feet by fucking Brian Ortega.
Elite guys.
Elite guys. Vera isn't about to fucking just land a left cross and send Frankie to fucking Twilight Zone. That's not going to happen. I think Frankie's just going to control him, use his wrestling. It's an easy path to victory, just as it is for most wrestlers. Just fucking grab him. Don't get cute. Don't try to stand with him. Fucking grab him, clinch him up, body shots, take him down, hold him down, and you win a decision. Plus 250, I love it. Give it to me.
Yeah. I listen, two brains are better than one. You guys are sharp as they come. I think that's the right play. Frankie Edgar's the right play. I don't know why I keep seeing this differently. I'm not even that big of a Cheeto fan. I talked hella shit about him before the Sean O'Malley fight. I thought that was a layup for O'Malley. He is durable. He is tough. Frankie's not going to finish him. Frankie, unfortunately, isn't like a knockout puncher. He's going to win on points. And I really want to see Frankie wrestle because I really thought he should have wrestled against Pedro more. That was more of a stand-up fight. He didn't. Obviously, didn't really get a chance to wrestle against Corey Sandhagen. But Frankie's wrestling is dynamic. His scramblings are really good, but, getting up in there in age. I'm going to tell the listeners, listen, I'm not switching my pick, but this is a fight I'm probably not going to bet. Maybe I'll touch it, if push comes to shove. But listen to the two guys that are on this podcast. Don't listen to me because that's a sharp play right there. All right, next up, go ahead.
There's a line, actually, Locke kind of pointed this out earlier today, well, not to everybody, it's on Twitter, but you can get Frankie Edgar decision only. So if there is a finish, the bet's voided. But plus 110, Frankie Edgar decision only.
I saw that tweet. Yeah. I've never played a line like that. That's I don't think it's available. Is it available everywhere?
It's on DraftKings. Yeah.
Is it on DraftKings? Okay.
It's on the second thing over.
Gotcha. Because I saw a comment, and I'm not sure where the guy was from, if he was doing off-seas or what. He said it's not available for him, so I didn't know if it was available everywhere. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. Like
DK.
But what if so yeah, go ahead, Timbo.
And also, we're right beside fucking Long Island, so that place for one is going to be going nuts for Frankie, and two, those fucking judges are going to be thinking twice about who they give that 29-28 to at the end of the night.
Let me clear something up, because I have a friend from Tom Rivers, New Jersey. That's where he's not from Long Island. Let me tell you something. If you tell a Jersey guy he's from Long Island, you're fighting. Okay, they don't like each other. My mom's from Long Island, and I remember telling my grandparents like one time, like, "Oh, you guys are from Jersey? Whoa! No, we're from New Jersey, okay?" And the same thing with Jersey guys. So Tom River, New Jersey, Jersey strong. All right, this fight. So I saw a lot of hype for this fight, and then I was like, eh. But again, this is one of those things where when I'm balls deep in this card and I'm digging in, I'm like, fuck, this is an absolute fucking banger. Shane Burgos minus 200 versus Billy Q, Billy Quarantino plus 160. Christian, right? Is it your go here, babe? I don't remember.
I think I did the last one.
Okay, then I go. I love this fight. I do. I didn't like it at first. I'm wrong all the time when it comes to fights. This is a banger. I wish Shane Burgos would have taken a little bit more time off, simply because of that knockout. It was a scary knockout. He got punched and there was like a delayed thing. And that, I'm not one of the, obviously I'm concerned with brain health, a guy with a brain injury myself. I'm concerned with brain health, but I'm not like always harping on it. But when a guy with that delayed knockout and his whole body just shut down, it was kind of a scary thing. 5-6 months ago, that's not crazy. That's pretty crazy. Shane Burgos takes a lot of shots. Good news is Billy Q isn't the biggest puncher in the world. He's going to punch you, but he's not a finisher on the feet. He likes to get the fight to the ground, and he likes to submit you. Shane Burgos is a really good wrestler. He hasn't really shown it because he likes to box. He's in New York. He's in